Bigtractorpower.com is here with Kevin Bein of the AGCO Corporation. Kevin's very famous in the Gleaner realm, and we're excited to see the new S9 series. So, Kevin, what can you tell us about this great new combine?
Well, a lot of things. It's probably one of the biggest major investments that we made, and a lot of it, when you first look at it, starts with the cab. So the first thing you're going to look at here is the new Vision cab. It was about 4 years in the making, and in reality, there's nothing on this that resembles the old cab. So we, in reality, started with a clean sheet of paper. This probably had the most focus group discussion with customers all over the world. This is one of the first that we reached out to quite a big area. But when you first take a look at it, you can see one of the big things that come out to change here is the amount of glass area. So what you'll look at here is one of the largest, as far as square inches in glass area, you're going to find on a cab today on any combine. But the big thing is, if you take a look at, the good-looking LED lights that we've got on here, you can take a look at the new platform. But when you climb in the cab, the thing that we try to tell customers is get your hand on the hydro lever and feel how beautifully, ergonomically placed the controls are. That's the thing we heard at a lot of events that we've been putting on here since the launch. The nice things like the ability with the refrigerator and the heater in here. You've got all the luxuries that you have in your car. But the big thing is the amount of room you have and the comfort and the quietness. This is a major change that we have made, and this was really worked in conjunction with our people at Fendt, who I have obviously worked with for quite many years, and I can tell you the fit and finish and the quality of this thing is without a question ahead of many in the industry today. So we're very proud of that, but the thing that we want people to understand that it wasn't just a cab, it's what we did inside the cab that made all the difference. And I like to point out the fact that when you first look at this thing, the amount of things that we can program on here today that we couldn't do on the old cab. So the big thing right now is I like to talk about one button control for our ability now. For the very first time, we can go in here, and if we want to go ahead and set this thing, we can do it with one button control. So it allows us now to be able to do things we couldn't do before. The other things that I think are important is our controls, like the header height control, smooth and very nice in the way it now allows us to feather and to fine tune that we couldn't do on the old machines before. But the big thing is the ability to have things like cruise control. We have, just like on our big tractors, SV1, SV2, so we can control speeds. 2 different speeds. It's being able to do things with greater comfort, greater control that we did not have on the old cab. So they're major changes. But one of the things that I hear a lot about as I came here today was what we did on the Feederhouse, and we're pretty excited because I've got a lot of customers out here that are running machines, and they say, Kevin, what did you do to the Feederhouse that has really increased capacity? Well, the S9 does have a Feederhouse change. It is 4.8 inches longer right now, and a lot of that was due to help us with better visibility to the front, to be able to hook up our headers easier. But what's more important, I think, than that is the fact that 4.8 inches gave us the ability to accommodate this larger cab. So when you climb up in, you can see how much deeper this cab is than the old cab that we had. In addition, what we did inside the Feederhouse is basically do a little bit of adjustment in there to get a better flow of crop going through there. So a lot of guys that are doing green stem soybeans, they're out there doing canola in Western Canada. This combine and what they can do even to, let's say, a machine that might be an S8 or an S7 series, is they can actually put this on and accommodate this new Feederhouse improvement, which will really take them up a notch. And this is the kind of things this is the way Gleaner does it. We like to do it like this, and this way it gives our customers a chance to stay ahead of the game in a lot of cases. Now there's a lot of things obviously that they can't do, but there's a lot of things they can do, and that allows our Gleaner owners to really take advantage, and I think that's a real plus. So as you start to walk around the machine, you'll appreciate some of the things that we've done outside in making the control box. So we have, you'll see in the pods outside, easy for them to go ahead and program. Again, it's just to make it easier for our customer. But the first thing you notice is the large expanse of the cab, and again, the comfort. If you're going to spend 8 or 10 hours in a combine, the thing that we want you to do is we want you to be able to sit in that cab, grab a hold of that hydro lever, and never have to take your finger off of it, you follow me, your hand, because you've got everything right there at your fingertips. Because we did that ergonomically to make sure
that's a great convenience.
Gave the comfort, yeah. So it's these kind of things.
I wanted to ask, I know we also have the new corn head to look at. Where does the S9, you had the S88, the S78, where now they're all S9, S98, S97, S96. Where did the 9, or what is the significance of that?
So what we did is, our series, in essence, the S9 is the series. So it's still, the S, so we start with the S96, and at that point that's a Class 6, the S97 Class 7, and the S98 a Class 8. So really, in reality, the S9 indicates the new series and all of the things that we've incorporated within that. And then, as we go back, S8 and S7 series. So the big thing is that keep in mind that every time we introduce a new series, it's about trying to add a lot of things that are huge factors that will make our customers more productive, more comfortable. So we're always thinking about, as I walk people around the machine, they say, oh, I like what you did here. Oh, I like what you did there. So we're constantly doing that because it's a matter of not just productivity, but it's comfort. So.
Well, thank you. And what can you tell us about the new head? I know there's a chopping feature and some new snouts.
What's exciting about this right here is that we started with a clean sheet of paper. So the what we call the 3300 Command Series is available for all 3 of our combines that we build. But you'll notice some very, very important things. And if I can just point a couple things out here. First of all, the first thing they're going to notice when they walk up to it is the longer snout and how much longer this is. But if you notice how smooth, you see there's a lot of work done on here. This is made out of a polyethylene. It's a rotomolded type snout. So if you notice it here, notice how the dome shape up here and how everything kind of flows in. So the main thing we want to do is we want to make sure that all of the corn gets in and we don't leave anything out here on the ground. So we worked very diligently on the design of this thing to really make a difference. The gathering system on here is totally new. You'll see our lug design now is point to point, where it used to be staggered on the old Hugger series. We changed the knife rolls. The knife rolls are much heavier, much larger in size. And you can see that here just by looking at them here. You'll see how they're edge to edge on the knife rolls themselves as well. So a lot of work is done on here in synchronizing the way the gathering system is working compared to the auger. So what you'll notice on here, this is the largest auger of any combine header in the industry today. It's 30 inches in diameter. So what we had to do is, obviously, with going to a larger diameter, we also had to change. And in reality now, you'll notice here that it's not just a matter of an auger change, it's the whole gathering system. What we are able to do now is we're able to synchronize this to what we're doing here at the gathering system. By slowing it down, we actually increase our capacity. What we were doing is we were overspeeding it, and in a lot of cases, we were causing this in the field with the with the corn, and so what we try to do is make this a smooth change here as material comes in, and you'll see this when we'll watch it in the field. It's just amazing the capacity gain that you have on here, and then of course we have the capability of the chopping. You can order chopping or non-chopping, but another nice feature is we can go ahead and we can disengage our chopping mechanism if we don't want to chop. Okay. So,
as someone who films a lot of combines in the field, I like chopping heads because you're not tripping over stalks chasing after the combine.
And another thing, we've had certain customers that, very honestly, will tell you, I want that field, I want just as nice and mowed down as I can. And yet we'll have other customers that'll say, hey, I've got some fields I don't want to. I got a lot of wind out there that blows, and I want to try to hold some of that material. So, those are all kind of things. But what's kind of unique out here, as I pointed out here, is something you can see on here. I'll just point out here is something we've integrated in here. As you can see here, the very unique design that we have here, and you see how we protect the snout. And the reason we do that is because we all have a feature that is standard equipment on this combine corn head, and that's our feature of a header tilt. Similar to what we did on the Dynaflex Draper head, we have the ability to tilt this, so if I'm in down corn and I've got ears that are left out in the field, I can go down and get them. And this protects, you follow me, it protects it so you don't damage the snout. So Gleaner's thought about all these kind of things. What are those things we can do to make sure, that we assure ourselves great performance, but long life, high productivity.
Well, thank you very much. And just one other question I was going to ask, the plate just over the feeder house, is that a new feature too,
Yes,
to keep trash down?
That's a hood. That's just basically the hood on there, and that's standard. So that comes with your corn head now, and that'll keep it down in and not over the top, so it's gathering out there on the back of your feeder house.
Well, Kevin, thank you for your time today. I'm going to take a walk around the combine and look at all the new features.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you coming. Have a great one. Hi, Jason. How are you doing? Good to see you. What's your... Okay, so...
The combine is harvesting 500 bushels every 10 minutes and unloading basically half of it every 5 minutes. Assuming the size of each tube, keep the element, keep the new line, unload, and return within 15 minutes, the grain cart still will have been sitting full for 5 minutes. Now, if the timing is